So it's looking like andoni Iraola will become the new Liverpool manager. This is big news just after Slot sacking. It seemed they had the replacement already lined up. As soon as Slot was sacked, they were saying that it looks like Iraola is going to replace him. Obviously we had the news not too long ago that he'll be leaving Bournemouth at the end of the season. He has left Bournemouth and it seems pretty straightforward now. He looks like he's going to stay in the Premier League and take the step up to Liverpool, and it is a big step up, and we'll get to that soon. But of course I'm going to take I've done a little bit more of a look at Iraola's career as a manager, and there's certainly some interesting stuff, so I'm going to go through all of that. But first, on Arnold Slot, obviously I've got a separate video up about him being sacked. Some will call a very harsh decision, some Liverpool fans will be glad about this. I think personally he deserved another year, but that said, they got a very young, well, they got a very exciting manager here. Iraola is 43 years of age, so relatively young, still pretty young still for a manager, to be fair. What I will say is there's a big responsibility. There's a lot of pressure that comes with this Liverpool job. Slot's found that out the hard way, so this is a big step up for him compared to his previous jobs, with all due respect. But equally though, it's a huge opportunity because this is a manager whose style of play I think Liverpool fans could really take to, and I also think is someone that we've clearly seen the potential he's got. I think he's got the potential to be a top level elite manager. Now I support Chelsea. This was one of the managers that was linked with us briefly when we sacked Rosigne, but obviously we ended up getting Alonso. Interestingly enough, some Liverpool fans may feel, overall I think some Liverpool fans might feel quite disappointed that they've missed out on the chance to get Alonso. That said, Iraola, the way he sets his team up, he rotates to formation, well, he swaps formations. He can swap between 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1, so that suits modern football, you know, being versatile, being able to change the formation in game or to for different personnel, different lineups. So that and you know, they're it was always Bournemouth very high press, very good pressing team. You know, the high pressing, really aggressive man-to-man pressing, and I think Liverpool fans will really take to that at Anfield, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how he does. And even though we're in direct competition with Liverpool, there's a part of me that really wants to see him succeed here, because I think he's such a good manager. I think he's really built himself up well, and I would like to see this. It would be good to see this type of move work, because quite often it backfires. But we see like a young up-and-coming manager may make the move a bit too early, and yeah, but because he's you know 3 really good years at Bournemouth. Then now to take on the Liverpool job is a huge step up from anything he's previously done. But let's just take a look at Bournemouth last season, because their statistics are just incredible. They've gone 18 games unbeaten, a club record unbeaten run. There's not many clubs in the world that have been able to pull off this sort of unbeaten run. Pretty much the entire second half of the season they went unbeaten. So hard to beat, and as the season went on, they got better and better as well. They turned the draws into wins and ultimately ended in a 6th place finish, which was an incredible season. And if results got different on the final day, could have ended up even in the Champions League. They pushed Liverpool right to the end for the extra Champions League spot. So, and Europa League next season, he leaves Bournemouth in such a good position. Now, obviously Liverpool, I imagine, are going to have a big squad overhaul this summer. I think a lot of players will be going, but I do think you know, a good 4 or 5 signings could well be coming in at least like top signings, 4 or 5 top signings, and like first teamers. And I think, you know, it'll be interesting to see whether he can bring anyone from Bournemouth over, perhaps. Obviously, when they did bring Kirkes over, well, they signed Kirkes last summer, Liverpool hasn't worked out. That said, though, with Robson leaving, Kirkes has got to step up. Could Iraola know what to do with him, because he was so good under him at Bournemouth? Maybe he will. So his career as a manager, had a decent playing career, Iraola. Most of it at Bilbao, a couple of appearances for the Spanish national team. As a manager, his first job was at Larnaca in Cyprus. That didn't go well. He only lasted a couple of months, but he did play. So he did have a job at Miranda's, I believe that's how you pronounce it, in Spain. And now, after they got promoted to the 2nd division, what he did do there, he did go on a cup run, and he did knock a few of the La Liga teams out, caused a few upsets, which is interesting. But where he really made a name for himself, where he really got his career started as a manager, was of course Rayo Vallecano, where he takes them up in his first season there, 2020 to 21, and then is able to keep them up for the following 2 seasons there, ultimately then signing for Bournemouth in 2023. And Rayo Vallecano, look at how well they're doing now, right? They are, you know, lost the European final the other day, narrowly, unlucky, some will say, to Crystal Palace. You know, that shows you how much of a good foundation he built there. That shows you how much he took them forward. And and then at Bournemouth as well, you know, Bournemouth were fighting relegation, first season back in the Premier League. Iraola comes in. Once he got them going, I remember them not winning many games towards the start of the season, 23-24, but when he got them going, they comfortably survived in the end, and they were very good, actually, towards the end of the season. A good run, and they do, we've seen this a lot, he can take them on a very, very good run of form. Once they get the momentum going, they can be very, very difficult to play against, even for the top sides. He's gotten wins against pretty much everyone, I think, in his time at Bournemouth. You know, there's been times where they've gotten results out of everybody, and you know, on their day, that they've proven not on their day, Bournemouth, they could turn up and beat anyone. I think there's a lot of factors in Bournemouth's success. I think the recruitment's been fantastic. I think they've developed players really well. I think they've been so well managed. But Iraola played a massive part in it. Look at the job he's done there. No one would have thought. Well, I think he told someone 15 years ago, Bournemouth be on the verge of Champions League football, then and have one of the most exciting, progressive, up and coming managers in the world. You know, you would have been shocked. And Iraola is, you know, he's got a lot of credit. He should get a lot of credit for that. A lot of that is down to him. And yeah, I still think Bournemouth will be good next season. I think he's left. I think he'll be, in the way that he's left Vallecano, I think, you know, he'll leave them with a really good sort of foundation. They've already had a new manager come in. I think they'll continue to recruit well. But you know, they have certainly lost such an exciting manager there. However he does at Liverpool, if he had stayed at Bournemouth, there's no question that he would have continued on the trajectory he was on. It's just a question that people are asking is did he need another year at Bournemouth? Is this move too early for him? And only time will tell on that. You know, I think to be fair, I think he's earned the opportunity. It's just one of them ones where you hope it doesn't go wrong for him because of how much pressure's on this job and because of how well he's done in his previous jobs in his career. And this season for Bournemouth, they've just gone up another level. His second season at Bournemouth, they were good. They were not that far off of the European conversation in his second season at Bournemouth, season before this one. But this time round, you know, they were literally 5 points off of Liverpool. There was a point where it looked like it was possible they could finish above them. 6th place finish, and that just shows you how well of the job he's done. Last season, you know, they got a lot of goals in them. 58 goals they scored, 54 conceded, and yeah, I mean the record he's set at Bournemouth, that unbelievable unbeaten run, that shows you what he is capable of, given the right support, given the right backing. And I think that's what these owners have got to do at Liverpool. I think that's the key now. They have to get this summer transfer window right, because let's be honest, they didn't get it right last season. Whether some of these players come good or not, I think Wirtz will come good. I think, you know, Isak, he's had that nightmare injury. There's been you know, explanations for why some of them haven't worked out quite how we would have thought. But this is the one they have to get right. Liverpool, they've not. The recruitment wasn't as good as people would have hoped. They've handled the Mo Salah situation quite badly, in my opinion. I don't think they've handled the Arnold Slot situation particularly great either. They've not cut themselves in glory recently, this Liverpool board. And I know a lot of their fans are really furious with how this has been handled since Klopp's left, really. And understandably so. Won the league last season, but to see it all come apart the way it has this season, the league winning team, it's been shocking, really. I mean, 18 defeats across all competitions. That's why, ultimately, why Slot got the sack. But I think there was a lot of other factors that come into play. But yeah, that's ultimately why that happened in the end. But what they do need to do is just give Iraola 100% control of this transfer window. Say, right, what players do you need? What players do you want gone? What players? Yeah, go and get your players. Go and get the players you need to make this work, to play your system. And you know, I've heard a lot of rumours. Elliot Anderson is someone that's been linked. I think that would suit Iraola very well. A lot of transfer rumours at the moment. It's all a bit up in the air. Everything you hear, you kind of have to just sort of not read that much into. But at this stage, but certainly a lot of players are still linked with Liverpool. We've got Champions League football as well, so in theory there should be no real restrictions stopping them going and getting who they want. So Iraola, big role for him, and huge step up for Bournemouth, but so a manager that's so exciting, And if there is any Liverpool fans watching, let me know your thoughts on this. I'd love to know. And I'll see you again soon.